We're continuing our reading of the 11th chapter of the letter to the Hebrews, where we're looking at these people that are mentioned in that 11th chapter who were really quite dynamic in their faith walk. I'm just going to give you a little bit of the list that are in that 11th chapter. It talks about Abel, Enoch, Noah, Abraham and Sarah, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, Moses' parents, Moses himself, Rahab, Gideon, Barak, Samson, Jephthah, David, Samuel. And so there's all these people that really put their faith into action. Let's remember what the first definition of faith was that we see at the beginning of the 11th chapter to the Hebrews. Now, faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. So that confidence and that hope and that assurance. So we looked at Abraham the last time. The promise that was given to Abraham that he would be a blessing, he would become a great nation, nations would come from him. The problem, his wife was sterile. His wife was already very advanced in age. Abraham believed, and so that was considered just. That belief justified Abraham in God's eyes. And so we have this promise of a heritage, promise of a land, promise of nations. So now let's fast forward. Remember, Abraham is going to be a blessing for all nations. We're going to fast forward to the time of Moses. Remember, Moses did not have the gift of speech. Some affirm that he even had a stuttering problem. In any case, eloquence and rhetoric were not really his gifts. So when God asks Moses to speak to Pharaoh to let the Israelites out of Egypt, that's no small feat. Moses agrees. He has Aaron to speak for him. And in spite of the difficulty, maybe it's out of fear of God, maybe it's out of belief, but he does it. So they're able to leave Egypt. They're able to cross the Red Sea miraculously. They escape from the pursuing Egyptian army. They enter into the desert. And what does God want? He wants them to enter into the promised land. They're on the point of entering into the promised land. So we're in the book of Numbers. What happens? God asks Moses to send 12 spies, or scouts, one from each tribe. They were dispatched by Moses to scout out the land of Canaan for 40 days as a future home for the Israelite people. And during that time, the Israelites would remain in the wilderness. So, what does Moses specifically ask for them to do? He asks for them to do this. See what the land is like, and whether the people who live there are strong or weak, few or many. What kind of land do they live in? Is it good or bad? What kind of towns do they live in? Are they walled or fortified? How is the soil? Is it fertile or poor? Are the trees in or not? And he says, do the best to bring back some fruit from the land. So they go on a true reconnaissance mission, 40 days of exploring. At the end of the 40 days, these 12 spies or scouts, one from each tribe, come back and they give their report. Now, there were 2 spies that really wanted to believe God, and they said, yes, we can conquer. There were 10 spies who said, no, there's no way that we can conquer. Let's see how it turns out. They came back to Moses and Aaron and the whole Israelite community at Kadesh in the desert of Paran. There they reported to them and to the whole assembly and showed them the fruit of the land. Good sign, fruit. They've been eating manna for a long time now. They gave Moses this account. We went into the land to which you sent us, and it does flow with milk and honey. Here is its fruit. But the people who live there are powerful, and the cities are fortified and very large. We even saw descendants of Anak there. The Amalekites live in the Negev, the Hittites, Jebusites, the Amorites live in the hill country, and the Canaanites live near the sea and along the Jordan. Here's the counterpoint. Then Caleb silenced the people before Moses and said, we should go up and take possession of the land, for we certainly can do it. Joshua was on his side as well. But the men who had gone up with him said, we can't attack those people. They are stronger than we are. And they spread among the Israelites a bad report about the land they had explored. They said, the land we explored devours those living in it. All the people we saw there are of great size. We seemed like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and we looked the same to them. So we have this lack of faithfulness of the spies. We have the 2 that are faithful, what's going to happen. We're going to see how the lack of faith in action is going to have dire consequences for the people of Israel. Tune in the next time and we'll continue reading from this book of Numbers what happened to the people in Israel. Let us ask for strength and faith as we walk forward in these days. God bless you all.